Ladies and gentlemen, you represent the state of California, the people of the state of California. It's an awesome burden. And there's no greater service a citizen of this country can do than serve in the military or do what you're being asked to do right now. Stand in judgment of another person in a matter of such great importance. It's an incredible burden to bear. But that's why the 16 of you were chosen. There were 106 people here. You made the cut because you all, and even the alternates, assured us that you could carry out that burden fairly, impartially, without a bias, without a closed mind. Listen to the evidence carefully before rendering your decision, you promised. And to base your decision only on the evidence, not some preconceived notions stemming from the nature of this case or what you may have read or heard.
This is entirely arguable.
But just on facts. And to abide by the basic tenets of our Constitution, proof beyond a reasonable doubt and a presumption of innocence. And they're not mere technicalities, instead they're the backbone of this country. A person is presumed innocent, the Judge Ray told you. And it means he is, in fact, innocent until and unless the prosecution proves otherwise beyond a reasonable doubt. A reasonable doubt, the judge will give you the law later at the end of the case, but it's a doubt that will cause you to hesitate in a matter of importance in your own life. I submit to you the decision you make in this case, at the end, will be the most important decision in the life of Rakim Mayers and his family. And I'm confident that if you apply the standard and hold the prosecution to the burden of proving each and every element of both counts, beyond that doubt, the reasonable doubt, this will work out. And that's why the 16 of you were sworn as jurors. Look, this is serious business, and I just want to tell you one last thing before we dive in. I just think some jurors, some people when they become jurors forget. No one here is going to, both sides are not going to ask you to do anything you don't do in your everyday life. No one's going to ask you to do anything when you're assessing credibility, when you make determinations of credibility. Nothing you don't do in your everyday life. Whether someone's telling the truth, whether they're lying, whether they're mistaken. Just bring your everyday life experiences. You'll be the best juror possible. There is no magic formula, there is no elixir. And as you now know, there is no jury school. Use your God-given common sense in looking at this evidence. I know that will guide you through this case. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, my name is Joe Tacopina. I, along with Sarah Kaplan and Chad Siegel, have the absolute honor and privilege to represent Rakim Mayers, known globally as A AP Relli. The evidence will show you that Rocky was a self-made man, risen from the most humble beginnings to extraordinary successes through work, dedication, and artistic
Your Honor,
brilliance.
this is argument is also irrelevant.
Overruled. What is said in opening statement is not evidence. What is evidence is what can be proven.
May I say?
Sometimes things are said in opening statement that cannot be proven and are not proven. Sometimes they are. That's what this case will be about.
Remember my promises, because I'll remember theirs when we talk in a few weeks on closing statements. I remember the DA put up a slide in the opening. It's from Harlem, a picture of him and Rihanna. Talked about when he was a teenager. I want to do the same thing. You'll hear he was born in Harlem, like they said. He was raised in poverty.
Your Honor,
You'll hear that
same, Your Honor, the same objection.
Stop. Overruled.
You'll hear about his upbringing, his mother and his siblings, and how he overcame with hard work, with dedication, and with talent. Rocky is not only
I do want you to stick to what you the evidence will show.
Oh, yes, sir. I do believe the evidence will show that, but I'm going to get deeper into these facts. But what the evidence will also show is he's not only a celebrated artist and a fashion icon, he's a man who raised a beautiful family, as the district attorney put up the picture, his significant other.
Your Honor?
Sustain. You got to get to the facts of the case.
you're going to hear the stark contrast in two individuals, Rakim on one side, Terell Ephron on the other side, known as Relli. He represents a very different narrative. The evidence will show you that this Relli presents himself to the world as a wealthy, successful man. Source light that he's a recording artist, businessman. He flaunts a very lavish lifestyle on social media. He poses with luxury goods.
Your Honor, the same objection, none of this is evidence.
Evidence will show you this. None of this is evidence yet. There's no evidence on both sides. Posting pictures of himself with large sums of cash and whatnot. It's fraud. He is all about a money grab. The truth is far different. And you're going to see this extravagant lifestyle that this Relli flaunts is nothing more than a fraud, built on, not on success and hard work, but upon criminal activity. Ladies and gentlemen, this case is all about money. I've said it once, twice, I'll say it a few more times. The evidence will show you it's nothing more than a money grab, nothing more. A clear attempt at extortion by Relli so he could keep funding this extravagant lifestyle of his that he presents to the world. You're going to see the only reason we're in this courtroom is because Rakim would not agree to be a victim of another one of his crimes. That's why we're here. Because Rakim said, here's some money. We're not here. He doesn't go to the police. And even after he went to the police, if Rakim gave him money, we're not here. It's not about justice, it's about money for him. Period, end of story. And I will show you that. The evidence will make clear that Relli is trying to leverage a fabricated story to extract money from Rakim, using lies to support these claims. The evidence will show you that Relli is a blatant perjurer, someone who takes an oath, despite that oath lies. The evidence will show you, and you will see him commit perjury right before you in this court. And you'll see how important that is to this case. Because the evidence will show that despite all the evidence they claim to have, all of it, and I mean all of it, will rise and fall on the word of Relli and his credibility. Period, end of story. You will see, if you can't believe him, the prosecution's case fails. Now let's walk you through the events leading to the incident of November 6th, 2021, which is that part of this case. But to do that, we have to start a few years back. From Relli's own testimony, that was the catalyst for this incident. His resentment, from his own testimony, his resentment was the catalyst for this incident, and his animosity towards Rakim. The evidence will show you that Relli met Rakim when he was in high school in Harlem. They were both part of that creative and artistic conglomerate called ASAP, which now you know means always strive and prosper. Over the years, Rakim achieved more and more success in the entertainment industry at first. He did maintain a friendship with this Relli, unfortunate for him. He even sought to help Relli through professional collaboration. But that wasn't enough for Relli, clearly. You'll see the kind of person Relli is in this courtroom. You're going to see it. He was jealous and angry, and as Rakim rejected some of the projects he presented him, Relli's resentment grew deeper and darker. So embittered by the success achieved by Rakim, someone he once considered peer, Relli embarked on a dangerous course of action. And in November 2021, Relli's resentment towards him reached the fever pitch. After tragedy had struck another member of this ASAP group, an individual named ASAP Josh had untimely death, he passed away. Evidence will show you that Rakim stepped up, spoke to the parents and the mom, They sent Josh and Paul to cover the cost for the funeral, bring the body back to New York and pay for the funeral. But Relli, still blinded by resentment, believed otherwise. He thought for some reason Rocky didn't agree to pay, or had agreed to pay, but then didn't actually pay. And he was furious, furious. He went as far as to threaten physical violence against him because he thought he didn't pay for the funeral or for the expense of flying the body back. He was wrong because he did pay. But he went as far as to threaten physical violence. And you're going to see that for yourself, ladies and gentlemen. On October 16th, a few weeks before this incident that you're all here to hear about, Relli told his friend that Rocky was a piece of shit and declared, "I'm going to beat this nigga up." Now it's funny, they showed you a lot of text messages. I didn't see that one. Did not see that one. That's the catalyst. That's weeks before this incident, when he came in hot on November 6, 2021 on our ground. And if you fast forward only a few weeks on November 6, 2021, you'll see that. You see that Relli sought to turn those threatening words into dangerous actions. And he did. The evidence will show you that on November 6, 2021, Rocky was scheduled to attend a music festival. They put it up there called ComplexCon, with two other members of the ASAP crew, Elijah Ulanga and Jamel Phillips, you now know them as ASAP Ills and ASAP 12. So in order to address Relli's resentment, because he was really mad, and have him accompany Ills and 12 to the festival, Rocky reached out to him multiple times. As a matter of fact, I think you saw a text from one of Relli's friends to Relli saying, "Hey, I think he wants you, Rocky wants you to perform at ComplexCon." So Rocky was trying to get him to come. It was sort of a celebration of the ASAP crew. So Rocky, yes, he was urgently messaging him because they were late for this ComplexCon. You're going to hear that from multiple witnesses. He was making them late for the show, so there were multiple messages from both 12 and Rocky. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? However, you're going to learn that although Relli, because Rocky had reached out to Relli to make plans to meet at his hotel,